How would you feel if the company you work for suddenly went bankrupt? Anger, despair, sadness, or futility? Sorry, the person you called is busy. Leave a message in the mailbox after the beep. The answer is all of these feelings. Here is the appearance of our protagonist. He is with us, completely ecstatic, saying, I'm going to go crazy. He was trying to call his boss and said, why aren't you answering the phone? I'm losing my patience. 6 weeks after this happened, someone was probably interviewing our protagonist for a job. People say he's too old to work at this cafe. He just says, yeah, I get it. Walking down the street, looking at his cell phone, he says it's hard to find a job in the middle of the term because of his age. He puts his hand in his pocket and thinks, I can't believe it's been over a month and I haven't been able to find any part-time work. This is a big problem. If I pay my phone bill, my account balance will go to zero and I'll still have to pay bills next month. Suddenly, something very bright catches his attention. He thinks, has this place always been so lit up? He sees a large convenience store and says, when did this huge convenience store open? He looks at the front of the store and sees some flyers. The flyer says, we are hiring part-time workers. All genders are accepted, no age restriction. Everyone is welcome. This makes him immediately enter the store. He approaches the person at the counter and says he came because of the flyer that advertised part-time position. He asks if they are still hiring. The cashier seems a bit taken aback for a moment, and our protagonist keeps wondering why she had that reaction. He thinks, doesn't she know about the flyer in front? He says, excuse me, and the woman looks astonished. She says, yes, we are hiring. She mentions that she is the manager. Our protagonist thinks, manager? You don't look older than a high school student. She appears more nervous than our protagonist during this job interview. Desperate to fetch chairs and some drinks, she keeps asking, what would you like to drink? You are free to say anything, huh? He replies, asking only for a coffee. He sits down with his documents, and she asks for his personal details. He says his name is Chan, and he is 29 years old. She asks if he has worked in a convenience store before, and he says yes, a few years ago. She lights up and says, you are the perfect person, with experience and age. We were looking for you. She reveals that she is even older than him, though she doesn't look it, and asks if she can speak more informally with him. He agrees, thinking, wow, you look much younger than. She continues saying that the convenience store has an implementation period of up to a year, and she says it's for 3 years. Chan thinks, yes, it seems like my sleep routine is going to get all messed up, but she mentions that without the benefits, the initial salary is 20,001 per month. She keeps talking, and the job, I'll do it. Chan doesn't even wait for her to finish speaking. She says, you don't even want to think about it, I'll start today. She is very happy to hear that, and she says, so, just sign this contract here. After he signs it, she checks if he filled everything out correctly. He says, yes. She says, then this sound will stay with you. And then the employee starts working, saying they'll start today. She says, so for you, Chan, since you're starting today, we'll begin with the new employee training. After 3 hours of training, the employee says she's leaving now and mentions that sometimes new markets aren't so good. They might arrive very early in the morning, and they just need to make sure everything is checked properly. The manager asks if they can really get there early in the morning. The manager says it is very urgent. She says, I will handle the organization. You just need to receive it for me. Then she says there is something very important to tell him. Handle suspicious customers reliably. Okay? Chan responds, don't worry, I'm used to dealing with suspicious people. She says, that's a relief. And she says, well, now I'll go. Good luck on your first shift. Huh? Chan just waves goodbye, looking dead tired. He thinks, relieved, finally, I can pay the bills now. He remembers what he learned and what he discussed with the manager. He says not only does he find the job good, but he also considers himself a great employee. He was very lucky and already had a lot of experience with vehicle workshop. He admits he didn't know how the system worked even after reading bad things. He didn't know how it worked. Apparently, it's 20,001 per hour, not per month like our salary. He associated it with their salary, but it's per hour. He says that in the end, if he works well for 12 hours, he earns a salary of 8.4 million won. He is very happy. Just look at his cute little face. He says working a single month already covers many of his bills and things he needs to pay. While he is very focused on this, suddenly someone arrives, and he quickly says, welcome. He gets startled by who enters the store, but the person simply asks where the toothbrush is, and he points to it. The person approaches and asks, where exactly? And when we see this, it's like a dog. A guy with a chihuahua-like face. It's very strange. He says, say something, you idiot. Where's the toothbrush? He starts cursing our protagonist, saying, where the hell is this toothbrush? I'm already exhausted from work. I come here to the store, and you don't want to tell me where the toothbrush is? Our protagonist gently points out, it's at the end of the 4th aisle, right there. The chihuahua-faced guy leaves a bit upset, saying, you should have said that earlier. People see the chihuahua look looking closely at the toothbrush like that. And Chan think this must be special effects makeup for movies, right? Chan thinks, am I filming here? Is this makeup really that good? Then the guy goes to the counter and asks how much it costs. Chan says it's 2,101. The guy puts the bill on the counter, but he leaves a 10,001 note. While Chan is getting his change, the guy is already leaving. Chan says, sir, your change. The guy just looks at the door and says, why are you bothering me? I'm tired of this crap. And he slams the door. Chan thinks, is there a suspicious person who isn't actually suspicious? Then he says, and keeps thinking, was that really makeup? Why does it look so realistic? He even thinks the sounds were like those of a real dog. Suddenly, the next person who enters has a bag full of coins. And when we see it, it's a goblin. He even has lovely heart-shaped glasses. He says to our protagonist, exchange this for a 10,001 note for me, please. Chan is completely in shock, right? He just admires the goblin for a moment, saying nothing. Very slowly, he picks up the phone. The goblin keeps saying, what are you doing? Just exchange it for me immediately. The manager even calls and says, Chan, what happened? Chan says, boss, a goblin just entered the store. Then he saw the goblin leaving, all happy with his bill. Chan, defeated at the counter, thinks he wants to go home. He keeps thinking, this isn't a dream, it was definitely a real goblin. He was also very confused about how much those coins the goblin gave him were worth. The goblin was looking very strangely while counting the money. He counted 1,145 101 coins and 31 501 coins for 20 minutes. Meanwhile, the manager is still on the phone asking, Chan, have all the customers left? And he says, with his face on the counter, boss, I think I'm going crazy. Since I started my shift, only people with very strange appearances have shown up. First, a customer with a very angry chihuahua had arrived. Then a goblin came wanting to exchange 30,001 in coins for bills. He says, this seems strange, right? But the manager says there's nothing strange about what he said. She mentions that the teleportation area is very close, so there's a high probability that kobolds and goblins will appear. But as she's talking, Chan interrupts and says, wait a minute, boss. Teleportation? What do you mean by teleportation? Do you need teleportation to get here? She says yes. To get to the customers, teleportation is indeed needed. And he asks how teleportation works for a convenience store. Are you a store manager or a wizard? She simply responds, yes, I'm a wizard. Didn't you know? My convenience store is enchanted with teleportation magic, and I cast this magic myself. That's why my store operates in various places. While all this was happening, Chan stood there in ecstasy. And we say, I should have told you this before, but never mind. I will explain the details to you tomorrow. Meanwhile, Chan goes to open the store door. When he opens it, he gets scared. She says that he is actually from a completely different world than hers. On the street, there are various other races besides human. You don't understand. There are even bad hybrids, red hybrids, skeletons, orcs, minotaurs, robots, zombies, witches, lizards. And then we say, you know, it's just a joke, right? But if it were true, it would be very funny, wouldn't it? He simply closes the store. The owner says, boss, earlier you made a joke about going to another world. But it's true. I really am a person who came from another world. Where I come from, there is no magic, no other species. The manager is at home, listening to all this while eating snacks, and she gets very scared when she hears it. He says, what do I do now? Suddenly, there is a knock on the store door. Apparently, it's another customer, but the customer is a vampire. Chan is very scared, almost frozen. While the manager asks, how are you, Chan? The vampire is knocking on the door to enter the store. After a while, after Chan recovers, the manager says, can you hear me? He replies, yes, boss, you can talk. She says, well, I was thinking, it seems like you have come to our world, right? He agrees. Meanwhile, he is watching the vampire, who is shopping. The manager says, but I really don't know what happened for you to come here. I've never seen anything like it. Meanwhile, the old man is downstairs on the balcony, desperate. He is observing the vampire very suspiciously. He says, anyway, I have to deal with this here. He first asks, how do I deal with each species? The vampire is also crawling on the floor, which makes him laugh at the moment. The old man asks about the customer's status. The one who is walking on the floor and laughing like a ghost. The manager asks, laughing how? What does she look like? He replies, she has thorns on her head. She has some small wings on her back. Actually, she isn't a vampire. Guys, she's a succubus. Because the manager says she's a succubus, she mentions that they are not dangerous. And Chan thinks, so this is a succubus. The manager says, for now, you will need a curse detector, which is under the counter. It's easy to find since it's colorful. While he's looking for it, he says, it really is colorful. What kind of color should it have? He finds a pink fairy wand with wings and stars and says, boss, is this toy really a curse detector? The manager says, yes, doesn't it look like one? She explains that people affected by a curse are usually depressed, so she designed it to make people a bit happier. Chan thinks if they were with him, they would get more depressed. She says, just press it against an exposed part of the person's skin and press the button. Meanwhile, the succubus is already at the counter, with her head under the counter, and he faces the protagonist, who has a pink detector in hand. Feeling in danger, he pressed the button on the magic detector. A stick extended out and hit the succubus in the face, and she was struck by small butterflies. Chan was startled, not knowing what to do. While holding that huge wand, the succubus lay on the floor covered in sparkles. Then the wand returned to its place, and the detector started to glow brightly. Chan slowly walked over to check on the customer. She was completely knocked out on the floor. He thought, "Boss, I killed her." Then the boss asked, "Ah, so she was hit by the detector?" He replied, "Yes, and very hard." Then she came over and said, "Oh, that's how it should be." "Don't worry," she asked. "And the results?" He said the detector was glowing with a purple light now. She said, "And then?" "You discreetly take the cursed medicine right at the end of the bike path." He asked, "Flu medicine? Is it this one?" She confirmed, "Yes, that's it. Give her 2 pills." Apparently, this customer had the flu. Well, not really. It's a flu-like disease, but with the same effect. Suddenly, the succubus slowly got up. He thought he would handle the situation from a distance. He asked the customer, "Are you okay?" He asked, "Are you feeling better now?" Here, take this medicine. You'll feel better." When the succubus got up, she had a much prettier face than before. He thought, "Oh, she looks much better now." He asked, "Are you okay now?" But she suddenly felt very nauseous. He said, wait, but she started to vomit rainbows all over the store. Chan was completely shocked by this. She felt much better after that. She said, "I feel so much better." A lake of vomit was in front of her. Chan cautiously said, "If you're done, you can leave now." But she just gave him a cute look and said, "Oh, relax." Only our protagonist was not happy at all. After vomiting, she even fell asleep near the vomit. He thought, "You're going to sleep now?" And meanwhile, she was already snoring. Another person who looked like a vampire entered the store, but he didn't know if it was an incubus or a vampire, calling his boss. But when he looked, she was sleeping next to the vomit near Chan. And Chan said, "Welcome." He spoke very sinisterly. "Is there something you're looking for?" He asked, "Do you have a bag of blood at 17 degrees? Meanwhile, on the phone, the manager said she hadn't taken the medicine yet. Chan said he would give the medicine after she woke up and after the other customer left. The manager said, "Don't rush." She said they only had blood bags from 15 degrees Celsius below, so she told him to recommend another store to the current customer. Meanwhile, he cleaned the rainbow vomit off the floor. And then we also verify the identity before selling the blood packet. "Is he a vampire?" And Chan says, "Yes, probably." She explains that vampires live very long and always look young, so they constantly renew their identity. Usually, vampires present defeated IDs marked with an X. These people are generally adults. She usually says that since the store has a magic alarm, he can feel free to inspect. Chan wonders if the store has an alarm system. Meanwhile, the vampire approaches him with a basket full of things, saying, "Ah, this is your precaution." When he arrives at the counter, Chan explains that they only sell blood packages of 15 degrees or lower, and he will have to go to another store. The vampire says it's fine and that he'll just buy what's in the basket. Meanwhile, Chan offers a bag that costs 101 to carry everything. The vampire says he'll take the bag and wants a pack of cigarettes as well, asking what kind of cigarettes they have. The vampire seems a bit confused and says, "That one over there." Chan replies, "This one?" The vampire says, "Yes, this one, the one under your hand. Give me one of those." But Chan is looking at him very suspiciously. He continues staring for a few seconds until the vampire becomes a bit uncomfortable with the situation. Chan thinks that maybe this customer could be a midget. Then Chan asks, "Can I see your ID, sir?" The vampire gets a bit nervous and says, "Ah, actually, I'm renewing mine and only have an expired one." So Chan says, "Can you show me your current ID or any other you have?" The vampire asks, "Can't you just sell it?" He says, "No, it's a procedure." Then the vampire says, "Oh, really?" and bites the vampire and says, Okay, go. My friend is waiting for me outside, so don't take too long." Meanwhile, Chan checked the ID. He thinks that even in his world, IDs are very similar to the ones in this world. It seems that there is nothing wrong. Apparently, the photo looks just like the vampire standing there, but there's the X at the top, which is normal because the manager said vampires usually have advanced IDs. He says that it seems fine, but due to the vampire's reaction, he will explore a bit more. Suddenly, he sees a rainbow shining under the photo. He asks, "What color is this?" Then he starts to peel off the sticker from the photo. Suddenly, a large rainbow tornado starts to form inside the store, shining brightly. Chan asks, "What is this?" Meanwhile, everything heads toward the vampire, this colorful light. The vampire wonders, "Why is this coming after me?" Chan continues to marvel at this and everything that is happening. The light keeps chasing the vampire, who runs and says, "Why are you chasing me?" And the vampire asks, "What did you do, sir?" Then Chan asks, "Sorry, but is this your ID?" The vampire says, "Just point it somewhere else." Chan asks, "Where should I put this?" Meanwhile, the succubus is still sleeping on the floor. After a while, the light simply stops on its own, and when the photo stops glowing, Chan sees a picture of something that looks like a muscular guy with a cat's head and whiskers. Chan gets very scared and shows the ID to the vampire, saying, "Do you see that the sticker came off? It looks like the ID changed." Then Chan says, "You know this is an illegal ID, right?" The vampire desperately tries to come up with a bunch of excuses. Chan says, "Boss, did you hear everything?" She replies, "Yes, I'm calling the police." The vampire quickly snatches the ID from Chan's hand and runs out of the store. Then his boss says, "Can you explain the situation?" Chan says, "Ah, yes. So, I suspected him, and in the end, it was really the Midja." The boss says, "Really? It was the Midja? This could have become a big problem." The boss asks, "But how did you know? I didn't even hear the store alarm." Chan explains, "Yes, his ID had a sticker with a photo on top. When I removed it, some kind of magic came from the ID." The boss asks, "Did you recognize it with the naked eye?" He replies, "Yes, I've seen this kind of thing before." The boss says, "This kind of thing is not easy to do." The boss explains that IDs in this world have a lot of security. Therefore, forging one or doing something like this is extremely difficult. So, the people who create this type of ID are really very skilled. Usually, these people use illusion magic that adapts to what the person wants, and it is not easy to see it with the naked eye at all. The old man says, "Is it really very difficult to do this?" The boss asks how he recognized it. The old man continues thinking that it was illusion magic. He wonders if vampires are really formidable creatures like that. It was actually very easy to uncover this because it was like a sticker he removed. Ironically, the vampire himself, well, the person who forged it, was that vampire. He was very confused by what happened. Then, suddenly, the boss calls and says, "So, Chan, maybe we should terminate our contract?" This makes our protagonist collapse. He is completely shocked and just stands there, speechless. Then he asks if he did something wrong, and she says, "No, of course not. The contract is going very well. It's just that you are from another world and came to ours accidentally, and that must be scary and very difficult for you." He says, "I don't know. Yes, I'm fine. Actually, it's not difficult or scary for me at all." And he says, "Then I want to continue working here." He asks, "Is that okay with you?" Meanwhile, the boss remained silent, and Chan grew worried. He thought she was really concerned about him being from another world, but he said he really needs to keep working here because he has many bills to pay. If he doesn't have a job next month, he'll have to live like a beggar. She says, okay, but enough nonsense now, okay? And she lets him continue working there, obviously. He says, "Yes, if it's okay with you, we can keep working here." Some people are already thinking, like, and the boss is talking on the phone, and she says, yes, I was thinking the same thing." His boss says, "But did you give the medicine to Suku? Why is she still on the floor?" He thinks, oh, she's still there. He says he'll give her the medicine now. He just sprinkles some powder in her mouth while she's sleeping. He says, "Yes, I gave her the medicine now." He mentions she hasn't reacted yet, but she says that's normal, and soon she'll regain her senses. However, the boss says she might feel some nausea or dizziness. He says, "Understood, this won't happen again." Then the boss asks if he thinks she seemed a bit dizzy or anything like that, and he says he didn't feel that. So the boss tells him to check her again with the curse detector. He grabs that decorated, cute one again and says it's just making a strange noise and not turning on. He wonders if her body is in a bad condition, and the boss says, "No, it's not that. It seems to be in a very specific, special state." Suddenly, he feels a strong vibration in the store and wonders, what is this? He thinks, what was that noise and vibration just now? Are meteors raining down? When he steps out of the store to see what it is, he sees many boxes. He thinks, what are these piles of packages? He hears a voice saying, "The order has arrived." And then he sees a person riding a Pegasus. This person says, "Ah, so you're the new first period employee my sister mentioned? Nice to meet you." Then he says, "Wait a second," and calls the boss on the phone. He says, "Boss, someone riding a Pegasus just appeared with the delivery. Is this the logistics person you mentioned before?" The boss says, Yes, it's Yunha. I asked her, and she said she could deliver today." Then he asks, "Yunha?" She approaches and says, "Yes, that's my name. I'm Yunha. Since you know enough about me, can you let me into the store?" He says, Yes, of course." She says, "Can you sign here just to verify that the items have indeed arrived?" He says, Yes, of course." While he signs, she picks up some boxes. Then he says, "Boss, I'm not very familiar with the written language of this world. How can I confirm the arrival of the item?" And his boss says, I'll talk to Yunha about it later. Just leave your signature for now." He asks, Okay, but what items arrived?" She says, Drinks, cookies, and dragon scale." Chan, upon hearing this, is very perplexed. The boss says, "I thought they wouldn't come today, but the supplier said he bought them for us." While the boss explains this to Chan, she asks, "Wait, is there a dragon in your world?" He says, "No, that's nonsense. How could there be if there's no magic?" Chan looks disappointed upon hearing this. She says, "Wow, your world is even more outdated than our rural world." Chan says, "Please, don't compare other people's worlds like that." Suddenly, Suku starts waking up, and Chan says, "Customer, you finally opened your eyes." "Yes, I'll settle your bill now that you're awake." Suddenly, Suku stands up and asks, "What is love?" Chan says, "Boss, please call a taxi." Then Chan helps Suku into the taxi. She's still a bit disoriented. In the taxi, Chan says, "Customer, here's your card and the bill for the medicine you bought. Hold on tight, because you might lose it." The driver, who looks like a hamster, asks, "Did your customer just drink alcohol?" Chan replies, "No, she's under some kind of curse, but now that she's taken the medicine, she should be better." Chan just tells him to take good care of her, but she keeps saying, saying, what is love? Even if you seem to understand, it's elusive to the eyes. Our protagonist replies, it's something you want but can't have. She fully wakes up and sees Chan looking at her very seriously, almost like Saitama. She asks, what does that mean? Chan, with his head inside the taxi, feeling a bit bored, just says, forget what I said. Then the taxi leaves, and he says he'll finally be able to get some peace and quiet. But suddenly, he sees Yunha knocking on the store door and wonders why she's acting that way. He asks, what's wrong? Yunha says, can you tell my sister that I'm taking the scales back? He asks, why? She explains that there's a problem with the dragon scales. A mouse was trying to resolve the issue with the manager over the phone, and she had been talking with her for a long time. Chan wonders if the problem is really that big. This reminds Chan of when he worked in a restaurant, seeing the delivery person and the chef arguing over ingredients. Yes, really, if there's defective merchandise, there's nothing he can do, right? Basically, you just need to hold the fort and do your job. Suddenly, Yunha turns to him and asks, your name is Lee Chan, right? He replies, yes, that's right. Then Yunha says, my sister wants to talk to you. She shows a video call from his boss. She says, hi, Chan. He responds, boss. She says, Chan, how about you and Yunha go there to check the status of the dragon scales? And he says, okay, why me too? They descend the stairs to what looks like a convenience store warehouse. But the stairs are stone and everything is very dark, resembling more a medieval castle. Chan touches the sides and says, is this really a convenience store? Why does it look like a dungeon? Then Rafa says, is this the first time you've seen a warehouse? Yes, it's my first time. I was like that too at the beginning. See, I told you, sister, your taste is unique. The manager says, how I decorate my convenience store is my business. But the manager's sister says, there are some limits. Do you know how strange this interior looks? She retorts, you're going to keep provoking me, right? She says, you're really going to keep provoking me? They finally reach a room with some cardboard boxes, and Yunha says, it's a bit dirty, stay here for a moment. Chan asks, you asked me to come here, but is there anything I can do, boss? The manager says just to follow her orders for now. She has a plan in mind. The dirt Yunha mentioned is actually a weird slime all over the room. It seems to be coming from a dragon scale with a hole leaking the slime. Chan is repulsed and asks the manager what this dark gooey slime is. She explains it's pus contaminated with magical power, which can happen when the dragon scale's purification isn't done properly. Chan asks Yunha if the thing that looks like a turtle shell is the dragon scale. Yunha confirms and says that recently some dragon scales arriving in this part of the country were being rejected. So, she took these as quickly as possible, but apparently, the cleaning company didn't manage to clean them properly in their rush, and this happened. This isn't very serious, so if we purify it properly, we can still sell it. We can't return it to the company because it's 3 a.m. and the company is closed, the manager says. And that's why I called you, Chan. He asks, me? She replies, yeah, Chan, can you press the button, please? He's like, what? Then a rat hands him a piece of something and offers it to him. The manager says, just touch it, it's not dangerous. I trust you a lot with this. Chan protests, no way, I'm not touching this. I might get sick. She says, I'll give you 100,000 won if you do it. He agrees, deal. Yunha thinks, wow, that was easy to convince. When he touches it, the pus recoils. He's like, what? Is this thing alive? The manager says, no, it's just a spike of magical power. Yunha says, but it looked like it was dodging Chan. The manager says, okay, ignore it and throw it. He says, okay, and slaps the goo. It suddenly starts glowing. Both of them in the room are stunned by the light emanating from it. It seems it was purified just by Chan's touch. Yunha says, it really happened, just like my sister said. She shows the screen of the phone, saying, look, sister, it was purified just like you said. And the agent says, no, it's too early to celebrate. She says, can you take that one I gave you and touch it? He does so. He asks, boss, there was no reaction. Is that normal? The agent replies, yes, it's because there's no magical power to detect. This kind of reaction happens when the purification is truly done. She says, it seems my prediction was correct. She says, Chan, apparently you have an anti-magic constitution. He thinks, anti-magic? Then Yunha says, it's simple, it's a body that can't acquire magic. Magic simply doesn't work on this body. The manager says, right, and can we have a chat now? So he goes to the corner with a cell phone to talk privately with her. She says, Chan, do you remember when we tested your body before? And the one made a lot of noise? That reaction only happens in two cases. The first is when there's no magical power. In our world, this can be incredibly dangerous, but since Chan is from another world, this is irrelevant. The remaining possibility was that the test didn't work because of your resistance to magic. Chan asks, resistance to magic? The manager says, yes, that makes much more sense. That's why I brought you to the dragon scale. She says, yes, tell me more details after Yunha leaves, okay? He says, yes, understood. As he hangs up, he thinks, what is she talking about? How does my body repel magic? It feels like I'm the protagonist of a manga who has just discovered a power that's existed since birth. Suddenly, Yunha appears, closing in on him, as if giving him a hug and slamming him against the wall. She hits so hard that the wall even cracked. Yunha says, I have a favor to ask of you. Are you listening? listening? He replies, what's the favor? With a big smile, she says, please help me purify these dragon scales. Chan asks, why me? She says, yes, you can do it. When he looks at the cell phone screen, even the manager is pleading with him, making a puppy dog face as if asking for food or to be adopted. That pitiful look. Chan thinks, are you serious? You want me to do the purification? Even Yunha is making a pleading face. He was almost blinded by the brightness of Yunha's eyes. Chan says, okay, I'll do it, just tell me how. Yunha, really? Thank you so much, Chan. The manager says, thanks a lot for helping, Chan. As if they hadn't just put the world's biggest pressure on the boy. Ash says, the method is simple, just stick your whole arm into that hole in the bed. Meanwhile, he just looks at the hole with a very disappointed face. Chan says, I don't want to do this yet. The manager says it's not dangerous to put his arm in there. You have a special body, so nothing bad will happen. Just put your arm in for a moment. It's quick, she says. It will be safe, please. Chan says, I'm sorry, I just don't have the courage for this. The manager then takes a lot of money, shows it to the camera, and says, if everything goes well, I'll give you a bonus. Chan says, okay, I'll try. Rafa says, if it hurts, you'll scream, right? He approaches the bed full of dragon whiskers and thinks, wow, this is the grossest thing here. But he thinks, I need the money, so go for it. For the bonus, he shoves his arm in. The hole is much larger than he thought, as his whole arm goes in and he gets pulled along with it. Rafa asks, Chan, are you okay? He replies, yes, but something is sucking me in. Rafa says, what do you mean? Pull hard, get out of there. Then Rafa grabs him by the neck and starts pulling. Chan feels like the pus is being sucked into the hole. There's that bright light again. Apparently, the pus is being purified and expelled. The bed starts glowing intensely. Chan falls to the floor and says, wow, that was chaotic. What a disaster for my first day of work, right? Yunha falls as well, landing on her. Chan says, oh, I'm sorry, Yunha. Are you hurt anywhere? She replies, no, I'm fine. And you, are you hurt? He says, no, I'm fine. Thanks to you, I didn't hit my head. She says, more importantly, can you go and check the dragon scales? He takes the super cute wand and hits the dragon scales, but there's no reaction. Chan says, no reaction, it seems like a rock. Yunha says, really? Then it was a success. She starts praising him. Chan, you saved us from a 10 million won loss. He gets all embarrassed hearing that. After that, they leave to celebrate and head out. She mentions that she already contacted her sister, who confirmed that everything went well. She tells him not to worry, as they won't have the same problems with the deliveries in the coming days. The old man asks, do you come every day? She says, no, it takes time and it's a bit difficult to handle these magical creature deliveries. The old man says, oh, then take care on your way back. She says, no formalities, please. Yunha mentions that her sister said he's just a year younger than her. Meanwhile, the manager is ecstatic at home for hiring him. She says, so you can call me Nuna. He says, I'll try, Yunha. Oh, I mean, Nuna. She says, see you later. And she leaves, flying on a Pegasus, leaving behind a lot of pain. As he looks back, he realizes the sun has already risen. It's morning. Then the next customer arrives, dropping many items on the counter. He says, ring this up quickly for me. Please do it fast. I have to catch a bus. Chan says, it's 9,801. The kobold shows a 10k note and says, keep the change. Chan says, okay, and rings it up. Next, there's a fairy, very tiny, and in the middle, a guy who looks like a god but resembles a slime wearing clothes, and behind him is a man who looks like a stone golem. Over time, Chan thinks, wow, I'm so tired. I stayed up all night. I'm so sleepy I could just crash here. And usually at this moment, I send a message, are you sleepy? He replies, I'm fine. She sends another message saying that he worked hard on the purification and that she'll send him the bonus in cash. He thanks her. She says, but aren't you very sleepy? I thought you'd be after staying up all night. Suddenly, a new customer arrives and says, welcome. He replies, what? Because he looks around and sees no one, just hearing the door open. He thinks, did the customer just come in and leave quickly? He replies to the manager saying, I usually don't sleep for long. The manager says, no, that's not good. You need to sleep well to stay healthy. Do you want me to make a sleeping potion? He asks, you can do that too? She says, of course, I'm a magician. Suddenly, he hears the customer again, but the customer wasn't invisible or going in and out. They were just very short. He can only see the horns, and Chan has to lean on the counter to see the customer. When he looks, it's a little girl with horns and wings on her back. She says, excuse me, sir, do you have colored paper here? Chan, still a bit shocked, responds, colored paper? She confirms, yes, and scissors too. He points out, both are on the top shelf over there, but it might be too high. Want me to get them for you? She replies, no, it's fine. Thanks for telling me. Chan watches her trying to reach for the items and thinks, this kid is quite mature, isn't she? And a bit pale too. As she struggles to reach, Chan notices she's almost crying. He steps in, grabs the items, and with a smile, hands them to her. Here you go, colored paper and scissors. She is overwhelmed and thanks him. Thank you. Chan thinks, hope I don't get attacked if she turns out to be a reptilian. And he wonders, will I be in trouble if she wrecks the store? When she looks at the items, she seems seems a bit scared and says, "Sir, I can't buy these." Chan asks, "Why not?" She replies, "I only have 5,001, so I'm 101 short." He says, "Both together cost 5,101. I can cover the 101 for you." She shakes her head and says, "No, my mom told me not to take money from others." Chan asks, "She said that? Why do you need the colored paper and scissors?" The little girl answers, "Mother's Day is coming. I wanted to give my mom a gift. I learned at school about Mother's Day, and my mom always buys me gifts on Children's Day, but I've never given her anything for Mother's Day. So, I really wanted to give her a present." Chan, impressed, says, "Ah, I see." He suggests, "But you can do origami, so you don't need the scissors." She shows her hands and says, "I could, but my hands are like this." She extends her palm, revealing claws. She explains, "If I press too hard, I tear the paper." Chan thinks to himself, "You must tear other things too." He realizes that it would indeed be difficult to do origami with those hands. Knowing she would never accept borrowed money, he says, "I can lend you the scissors if you want." After a while, he sits at the counter and gives her a paper cutout with some flowers. The little girl thanks him. "Thank you, sir." Chan watches her working and thinks, this has turned into something much bigger than it should have been. First, I got involved. Second, she has a lot of trouble doing anything with the scissors. And third, my shift ends at 10 and it's already 9:40. He thinks, there's no reason for a child to go this far to give a present. The manager will be here soon. What do I tell her? Suddenly, the little girl runs off and says, "Sir, just a moment." He is confused as she heads to the food section of the store. She asks, "How much is this?" and shows a chocolate bar. Chan replies, "It's 2001. Are you going to buy it?" She says, "Yes." He says, "I'll check it out for you." When she pays, he says, "Now you can eat it." Instead, she breaks the bar in two, with one half bigger than the other, and offers the bigger part to Chan. She says, "Let's eat while we work here." Chan replies, "Kid, I appreciate the gesture, but this candy is yours. If you're giving it to me, you should eat the bigger part." She insists, "You're bigger, sir. And my mom said my teeth will rot if I eat too much chocolate." He thinks, "What about my teeth?" She waves the chocolate in the air and says, "Let's eat together, sir." He relents, "All right, let's enjoy." After a while, the manager arrives excitedly. "Chan, good morning. You must be so tired after working all night." Chan, looking startled while eating chocolate, sees the little girl cutting the colored paper. He quickly stands up. "Good morning, manager." She asks, "Chan, who is this child?" He explains that there was no one else to finish the shift, so he lent the scissors to the customer. The manager says, "Ah, I see. Sorry, she didn't have enough money to buy them, and I thought it would be quick, but it took longer than expected." The manager comments, "Okay, I understand the situation, but don't you think this child is very shy?" He responds, "Maybe. Kids are usually shy in the city." The manager says, "For regular kids, yes. But this child is quite special. She's a dragon." Chan takes a closer look at her and realizes it makes sense. The manager explains, she's a pure-blooded dragon. Dragons stay in their eggs for up to 300 years before hatching. During that long period, they develop their physical attributes, including the horn, which is an organ to detect magical power. Chan asks, "Difficulty with what?" Apparently, younger dragons can see the magic of others, which can be confusing and hard to handle for them. The manager continues, they see magical power as colors through their horns. And since they are young, they can't control this very well. There are cases of magic being detected unconsciously, and she doesn't have enough life experience to distinguish people by their colors. So, if not careful, a young dragon can be in danger. Knowing how to judge if someone is good or bad is something that only comes with life experience. Chan asks, "So you're saying it's dangerous because young dragons don't have that experience yet, right? After all, just because someone looks nice doesn't mean they are a good person." The manager replies, "Yes, exactly. That's why dragon parents are very protective of their children, especially if they are pure-blooded, who are more strictly educated." Their conversation is interrupted by the little girl, who is all happy and says, "It's ready." The manager approaches her affectionately, "Oh, you did such a good job." But the little girl runs behind Chan with a scared expression. The manager comments, "I think just me and her here in the morning won't work out very well." She crouches to talk to the child and explains, "So, little one, this man here helped you. He worked all night, so he's very tired and needs to sleep. How about coming back later?" The little girl looks sad, but Chan suggests, "You can leave what you made here. I'll keep it for you, and you can pick it up tomorrow morning." How does that sound? She asks, "Can I do that?" The manager responds, "Of course, you're always welcome here." The little girl thanks them, "Thank you, sir and ma'am." The ma'am hurts the manager, who responds, "Child, call me sister, okay?" The little girl agrees, "Okay, sister." Chan thinks it's better not to talk about age with the manager now. They say goodbye to the little dragon girl, and the manager locks the store door. She says, "Now that the child is gone, I'll slowly get the store ready to send Chan back home." She asks him to open a drawer. "Can you open that drawer there?" Chan asks, "Which one? This one in front?" She confirms, and he complies. He sees something shining and realizes it looks like a holographic globe with a keyboard on top. The manager explains, "This This is a magical device called a teleport machine. It's what I use to move the store to various places. Chan comments, it looks like magic mixed with very advanced future technology. The manager says, I made it myself. This is the exclusive teleport machine for my store, but you can't mess with it without knowing, okay? We've designated some areas for the store to operate, but if you touch it incorrectly, you could move us to an unknown area. Whenever we move to a new area, the store's products change too, so be careful. He responds, okay, I'll remember that. The manager continues, it's pretty easy to use. You just need to put your home address in the text box. Chan asks, here? She confirms, yes, it usually works, but if it doesn't, we won't be able to teleport you back to your world. Chan is surprised, even though you managed to do this before? The manager explains, for teleportation magic to work, clear information about the destination and a lot of willpower are needed. And that's why, if a person has never been to that place or never needed to go to that place, teleportation magic won't happen. Since I don't know anything about your world, it would be useless if I did the teleport. You know your world very well, so you must do it. Chan turns back to the teleport machine and asks, so you're saying this is also magic, after all? Chan questions, you said my composition is anti-magic. I managed to purify the dragon scale, but I don't think I'll be able to do this teleport. The manager replies, Chan, don't worry, just try, you'll definitely be able to do it. He thinks, okay, let's give it a try. As he types into the machine, he asks, so I just put my home address here? She confirms, yes, and think desperately that you want to go home. It doesn't matter if the memory is good or bad, if it's strong enough, you'll be able to teleport. While typing, Chan thinks, I want to go home. Even though my world is cruel, where I was betrayed by my coworker, it's still a place where things can be happy sometimes. It was fun playing with my friends when I was younger. What an ironic world, right? The manager points to the door and says, look, go check. Chan wonders, did it happen? The manager replies, I'm not sure, that's why I'm asking you to check. Chan opens the doors and, upon doing so, realizes he is back in his world. He exclaims, this is my neighborhood. I can't believe I went from one world to another in seconds. The manager comments, and if my theory is correct? Chan asks, what do you mean? She explains, your physical condition can be controlled according to your will. Chan, what were you thinking when you were purifying the dragon scales? He replies, I was thinking it would be nice if they were purified. She continues, if magic didn't affect your physical constitution, the magic of the scales would probably be destroyed and could never be used again. But you managed to purify them because you thought of purifying, and that was reflected in your physical constitution. Chan, surprised, asks, so you asked me to purify those scales based on your hypothesis? The manager confirms, yes, otherwise we wouldn't be able to sell them anyway. The conclusion is that you can control your physical constitution according to your will. I think this is also related to how you ended up in my store. Makes sense, right? You wanted so much to get a job, and the store simply appeared. She continues, anyway, I need to observe you longer to understand better. Are you curious about anything else? Chan responds, no, for now I don't have any more questions. The manager takes out a letter and a vial and says, then you can take this and leave work. Chan finally arrives home, a small one-room apartment. He enters and comments, narrow, small, but it's my apartment. I really made it back home. I'll go back to work at night, so I'll set an alarm. He remembers the vial the manager gave him, explaining that it is a potion to sleep instantly. He wonders, does it really work? He sets the alarm for 9:30 p.m. and before drinking the potion, thinks, if the manager made it, it should work. After taking the potion, everything goes black, and he wakes up at night with the alarm ringing. He sees that it's 9:31 and comments, it was really effective. He stretches and prepares to go to the store, thinking, I really slept well thanks to the manager's potion. So, I really got that good job. Since there is physical evidence, maybe it's not a dream. But will a convenience store be in the same place as yesterday? Chan observes the store and thinks, there really is a convenience store here. Now I'm sure this is not a dream, but am I the only one who can see this store? Chan is startled by what he sees in the store. A bald man, whose head is shining, is saying, if I drink here, can I leave the empty bottles too? I'll give you the empty bottles, and if we add 101 for each empty bottle, the price will be exactly 2001. That's why I want to drink here. The manager has a serene expression, trying to stay calm. The bald man insists, a shot in a second, and obviously, I'm talking about alcoholic drinks. There shouldn't be a problem. Why don't you just let me drink here? Chan thinks, this is definitely not a dream. The manager, with all the patience in the world, says, sir, I already told you earlier, but drinking alcoholic beverages inside the convenience store is illegal. So, you can't do that here. Please pay the price for the soju and drink at home. The bald man pouts like a child throwing a tantrum. It's illegal? You're so strange. So, is it wrong for me to drink inside stores that sell alcohol? Chan steps in to help the manager and says, according to the law, convenience stores are recognized as restaurants. Therefore, you can't drink alcohol here. And obviously, you can't drink outside our convenience store either. Please pay and drink at home. The manager comments, Chan, when did you get here? He replies, just now. Working hard, huh, manager? The bald man starts yelling, why are you interrupting our conversation all of a sudden, huh? Chan responds, I work here. The man says, so you're an employee. How dare you talk to a customer like that when you're just an employee? You're being prejudiced against me just because I'm an elf. Chan says, sorry, but when was I prejudiced against you? The elf responds, you're being prejudiced against me by refusing my request. Just because I'm an elf and you two are humans. Both the manager and Chan are taken aback. The elf starts throwing a tantrum, rolling on the floor like a child. You were prejudiced against me. I can't even explain it. He continues rolling on the floor, saying, I'm so sad, very sad now. Chan says, sir, you shouldn't do that on the floor, it's dangerous. Meanwhile, the manager presses the emergency button under the counter. The old elf shouts, you're bossing me around now? Chan responds, no, it's not that, sir. I'm just saying it's dangerous. After a while, the police arrive at the scene. A policeman takes the elf to the patrol car while a policewoman asks the manager, so, what you're telling me is that this elf didn't even want to pay for the alcohol and claimed you were discriminating against him because of his species, even though he was wrong. Is that right? The manager confirms, yes, you can see everything on the security camera footage. The policewoman asks, need help reviewing the footage? The manager replies, no, it's fine. It will be quick. The policewoman says, I'll be right back. The manager responds, take your time. Chan comments to the manager, in some way, the elves in this world are quite different from what I know. She asks, what image do elves have in your world? Chan responds, how can I put it? They are usually noble and have a very beautiful image. I had a very noble and respectable view, but after seeing this, the manager says, well, there are various species. After the war, our world had a great technological and scientific advancement. Many scientific artifacts were developed that made the lives of various species much more convenient. Humans made these advances possible, and the other species accepted them very positively. But to live more comfortably, they started creating provinces, and due to this great development, nature was destroyed. But everyone was satisfied with having a more comfortable life. The manager continues explaining, one of the species, the elves, didn't fully accept this because they lived in nature. In the end, there was a war. Chan asks, a war because of scientific technologies? She confirms, yes, the elves were friends of nature, so they couldn't stand still while seeing nature being destroyed by science. So, the elves destroyed many buildings and factories. The other species couldn't stand this conflict anymore and had to choose between humans and elves, follow the humans and progress, or follow the elves and keep everything as it was. The unanimous choice was to side with the humans. Even though all the species fought together, the elves were still many, and the war continued for a long time. In the end, they managed to reconcile, but the post-war period was very tough, and the number of elves and humans decreased significantly. Chan asks, so, what happened to the elves? She responds, after the war ended, the surviving elves faced a lot of discrimination and lived under tremendous oppression. But recently, this has diminished a lot. Remember the elf policewoman who came to check the cameras? She probably worked very hard for that job. To prove my point, she dyed the tips of her blonde hair black. So, Chan, if you have any customer who is an elf, treat them very well. He asks, even if the customer is like that other elf who was here. She replies, no, you're not obligated to treat such customers well. Just call the police if they yell or curse at you. You shouldn't suffer as an employee for no reason. Chan agrees, okay, I understand. The policewoman leaves the camera room, and Chan says to the manager, I think you should go now. She yawns, visibly tired, and says, yes, I should go home after the policewoman returns. The policewoman informs, manager, I've finished checking. She thanks her, okay, thank you for your good work. Could you accompany me home? The policewoman agrees, let's do that. They leave the store while Chan stays at the counter. The policewoman says, we'll take this elf with us now. His level of punishment will be decided after we hear the reports. The manager says, Chan, send a message if anything happens, okay? The policewoman salutes and thanks, thank you for your cooperation. Chan responds, alright, you two return safely. He is left alone in the store and rests his head on the counter. Oh man, I'm already exhausted. And it's only the second day of work. I need to adapt quickly, or I won't last long here. At that moment, a customer enters the store and says, what are you doing there? Huh, you slacker, procrastinating on the job? It's the Chihuahua again. He continues, why haven't you gotten up yet? Huh? Chan thinks, manager, can I kick this kind of customer out? He gets up to help and asks, are you looking for something in particular? The Chihuahua replies, where are the toothbrushes? Chan says, they're over there, in the same place you bought them yesterday. The Chihuahua responds irritably, how am I supposed to know with you talking like that? Are you going to keep working like this? Explain properly where they are. Chan thinks, manager, there's a customer bothering me here. He says, follow me, I'll show you where they are. The Chihuahua grumbles, you should have done that from the start. Chan shows him where the toothbrushes are, and the Chihuahua asks, which one is good around here? Chan replies, I don't know. The Chihuahua, looking manic, says, you work here and don't know? What if the customer only wants to buy based on your recommendation? Chan thinks, it seems like you're worth more than 5 customers customers. He sees a promotion and points out, how about this one, buy one get two? The Chihuahua says, I don't know if I need two. Chan responds, you'd be practically getting one for free. Wouldn't it be beneficial to buy it? The Chihuahua examines the toothpaste and says, okay, I'll pay for this one. Chan says, that'll be 3,201. The price of a bag is 101. Do you want one? The Chihuahua replies, yes, I'll take one. The Chihuahua notices another item and asks, what is this? Chan replies, with this, it'll be 6,301 in total. This item also has a buy one get two promotion. The Chihuahua says, I don't need two. You can keep one of them. Chan responds, sorry, I can't do that. You bought it, so how can I take it? The customer replies, that's not my concern. I won't charge you later. Just take it, you slacker. Now I'm leaving. He exits the store, leaving Chan dumbfounded. Chan thinks this Chihuahua seems to be a regular customer. He reflects, since he comes here every day, it seems like the place where he works is nearby. If he keeps coming every time I'm working. While he's thinking, another customer calls for him. He sees it's the same succubus from the previous night, who was sick. He remembers her scary face and calls the manager. So the succubus from yesterday is back? Asks the manager. Chan replies, yes, she's back. She won't act like she did yesterday, will she? The manager asks, what's her condition? Chan says, she seems a bit drunk, but she's calmer than yesterday. The manager suggests, check her condition with the curse detector. If the result is okay, just let her be. If it looks strange, contact me. Chan responds, okay, I'll do that. He thinks, what do I do? I'm scared she'll act like a ghost again. But then he remembers, no, Chan, think about the bonus you got yesterday, the manager who gives you money, and the salary you'll get this month. I have to work diligently. He approaches the customer. Excuse me, ma'am. With the curse detector in hand, glowing brightly, she says, that's what I saw yesterday. Chan explains, I need to check your state before you stay in the store. Is that okay with you? She responds, sure, you can check through my hands. He thanks her. Thank you for complying. While he's scanning, she becomes embarrassed and red-faced. She says, about yesterday, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Chan responds, the apologies are for you vomiting rainbows on our store floor. She covers her face and pleads, no need to talk about that anymore, please. I was out of my mind yesterday. It was probably because my magical power overflowed during my work at the company yesterday. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. Chan asks, what kind of company do you work for to end up like that? She responds, I work at a pharmaceutical company nearby. I ended up like that because I made a love potion. Aren't potions made by mages? But in the industries, succubi like me are in charge of that. We succubi are good at making captivating and fascinating things for others. We're the species closest to love, after all. So, most of us work in pharmaceutical industries making love-related products or with psychiatrists to counsel the heartbroken. My work didn't go well yesterday, so I'm really sorry. Chan thinks to himself, succubi in this world are really quite healthy, but there's something strange about this. He asks, why are you thinking about quitting your job? I think you can support yourself well with this job. She starts crying a lot and says, I've never been out with anyone in my life. I've never had a date. I don't know what love is. Chan, shocked, asks, how can a succubus not know what love is? She responds, exactly. I focused so much on my studies and never had any romance in my life. I worked hard to get the job I have. It's my first job, but since I don't really know what love is, my work isn't going well. Even when I ask my superiors about love, they say it's very different from anything else. I don't know who to believe anymore. I think this job isn't compatible with me. Chan thinks, it seems I've heard some very private things from her. Chan tries to cheer up the succubus. Hey, cheer up a bit. Everyone has tough times in their first job. You don't need to beat yourself up over it. She responds, to be honest, I came back here because I remember what you said to me. Chan asks, oh, did I say something? She continues, you said that love is something you want and can't have. I was shocked after hearing that. Everyone always said that love is easy and fun, or that it's troublesome and annoying, but you were the only person who answered differently to me. Chan tries to calm her down. Ma'am, please calm down. She, with tears in her eyes, says, I kept thinking a lot about what you said. It's a new concept for me. Please tell me what it means and what you know about love. Her glow is so intense it almost blinds Chan. He responds, I'm sorry, but I don't know much about love either. To be honest, I've never had a date in my life. She asks, really? Why? Chan, disheartened, says, my face is pretty boring. They sit in silence for a while until the succubus perks up. Okay, let's get started. Before we begin, I'll explain that what we discuss here won't be told to anyone else. It's just for reference to my issues. She's holding a tablet and a pen. Chan thinks, I can't talk about this. I've been single for 29 years. I'm sure I won't be of any help to this customer. I should change the subject. He suggests, hey, instead of interviewing people, why don't you try getting into a relationship? She asks, me, get into a relationship? Chan continues, it's a bit embarrassing to say this, but I think the people around you might have tried to set you up on a date. Have you never been in that situation before? She responds, maybe, but I avoided those situations because I was scared. I studied a lot lot about love when I joined the company. All the books and people I asked said that love is a very good thing, but it's not something visible or tangible, and everyone has different experiences with it. Suddenly, I had this thought, what if love is different from what I expect? When I thought about that, I got very scared, so I tried to avoid it at all costs. She continues, it's strange, right? A succubus scared of love. Chan responds, no, it's actually not strange. Everyone is afraid of things they can't see, especially human emotions. They're very hard to understand. And among them, love is the hardest. It's not that easy to start loving, but since your job is related to love, why not think of love in a lighter way? She reflects, light, you said love is a big thing, right? Chan responds, to be honest, I don't think it is. She asks, really? Why? Chan explains, I think I say this because I witnessed my best friend get married. When his girlfriend was just a friend, they would go out just to get to know each other. He bragged a lot about this love. He always said she was his soulmate, but after they got married and started living together, they saw each other in a completely different light. They fought over rivalries, and he regretted getting married. The succubus comments, it seems your friend is very different from his partner, right? Chan agrees, it seems so. He used to say he loved everything about her when they were dating, but it's not just him. People around do this too. It seems that love changes when the situation changes. Usually, a big thing never changes, but love changes because it's made up of many other emotions. Chan continues, that's why you should think of love in a lighter way and try a relationship at least once. It's really something amazing, but not necessarily good. Be careful not to develop very dangerous romantic emotions. She asks, what is dangerous love? Chan responds, I think there are two types of dangerous emotions. The first is forced unilateral love, when one person forces their love without the other reciprocating. The other is stalker-like love, when the person keeps sending letters and watching from afar. In my opinion, these two types are very dangerous because people end up very hurt and can leave many scars on the heart. He continues, love isn't made by just one person. It can only be called love if the relationship considers the feelings of both people. So, be careful with that kind of love and enter a relationship that feels comfortable for you. The succubus, taking notes, asks, do you think I can do that? I'm a rather frustrating person. Chan encourages her, of course you can, because you're a very attractive person. I don't think any man would refuse you. You just need to be confident and give it a try. Realizing what he said, Chan covers his mouth and apologizes, oh, I talked too much. I'm sorry, for someone who's never dated anyone before, I said too much. She responds, no, I'd never dated anyone either, but I still make love potions. It seems much easier to understand from someone who has never dated anyone in their life. I'm very happy to get the perspective of someone who's been single all their life. This makes Chan a bit sad. He says, please, stop mentioning that I've been single my whole life. He asks, ma'am, don't you have to go back to work now? She replies, my bus is arriving now. Thank you for listening to me. He says, I'm glad to have helped. Oh, take this with you, and hands her the same product the Chihuahua gave him. She asks, why are you giving me this? Chan explains, because you have to go back to work. It'll make things easier at your workplace if you have this. She thanks him and accepts, thank you. Before leaving, she asks, if it's not too much trouble, can I come back here later? The scene shifts to the manager arriving early in the morning. So, you said it was okay for the succubus to come back here? Chan replies, yes. The manager says, my goodness, Chan, you shouldn't accept customers so sincerely like that. Next time, be careful with succubi. They are a species with a strong obsession. Chan thinks, so that's it. I'll get into trouble if I get involved with them. He responds, okay, I'll remember that. But I haven't seen that little dragon girl come back. She still has a lot to finish her present. Did she forget? Meanwhile, they see someone passing by on a bicycle in front of the store, followed by a loud noise. They run to check. What was that sound? It sounded like metal clashing. They see a fallen bicycle and the manager asks, oh my gosh, are you okay? They see a robot fallen with the bicycle. She asks, are you hurt? The robot responds, no, I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. Chan thinks, a robot? The manager helps the robot up and says, no, you're not fine. That was a very loud noise. The robot apologizes, sorry for scaring you. Thanks for the help. She asks, how did you fall in the first place? Chan notices the bicycle chain is loose and says, the chain came off. It probably got caught in the gears, causing the fall. I'll just put it back on. The robot and the manager applaud, you're amazing, Chan. The robot says, really impressive. Thanks for fixing it. The manager pats Chan on the back and comments, you're really talented in many things, huh, Chan. Chan explains, I know because I rode a lot of bicycles when I was younger. The robot thanks for fixing it. Here's my business card. You can contact me anytime if you need. The manager comments, he's a weapons manufacturer specializing in monster slaying. The robot continues, I own this business, and if you contact me, I'll work for free for both of you. Chan responds, no, you don't have to do that. The robot insists, I want to return the favor. Please contact me if you need anything. Goodbye. He leaves with his bicycle. The manager says, thank you, take care. The manager then turns to Chan Chan, I think it's time for you to go home, because things will be very difficult tomorrow. Chan asks, why specifically tomorrow? She responds, there's a delivery coming, and tomorrow is Seksu. She explains, Seksu is a Friday when people party a lot. If you don't rest today, you won't handle tomorrow. Chan exclaims, my gosh, tomorrow is Seksu. I forgot about that. It will be very hard for someone working in a convenience store. The scene shifts to Friday. The store is chaotic. Someone is sitting on the floor eating potato chips, while another person says, I'm going to sing number 18 now. Get ready. The singer pretends a beer bottle is a microphone and starts singing. In the background, drunk elves are dancing in the middle of the store. Chan, observing everything, grabs the beer bottle and the bag of chips and says seriously, dear customers, I know you're feeling good because you're drunk, but you need to pay before consuming the items. The elves respond, okay, sorry. Suddenly, a harpy throws herself at Chan, who manages to catch her in midair. She exclaims, I finally became a swan. Chan thinks, do that at your house. He says, ma'am, please don't do that again and go home. At that moment, a minotaur comes flying through and breaks the store door, with a piece of the door stuck in his horn. Chan drops the harpy to the ground, and the minotaur asks, where am I? What did I break this time? Chan, almost crying, thinks, you broke our door, you piece of Korean barbecue beef. Chan calls the manager with an exhausted expression. She asks, are you still alive, Chan? He pleads, please, manager, help me. The manager, also exhausted, responds, sorry, Chan, but I also feel like I'm going to die now. We had much stranger customers than usual today. Chan asks, stranger? She explains, there was a goblin with several credit cards asking to charge a different amount on each one. Then suddenly, a lady cut in line and started fighting with the goblin right in front of me. Today was especially hard. Chan thinks, it seems the manager also suffered a lot today. I guess there's nothing I can do but keep working. She asks over the phone, Chan, are you really okay? I thought you'd be suffering from exhaustion after yesterday. He responds, the minotaur broke the door. The manager exclaims, what? Broke the door? Chan, are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? He reassures her, no, I'm completely fine, manager. I got the minotaur's contact number so he can pay for the door later, and I made a temporary fix. Don't worry. The manager goes silent, and Chan thinks, I guess she's really shocked because the store door got smashed. Did I shock her too much with what I said? Maybe I should have said it differently so she wouldn't be so surprised. Chan thinks, I should comfort her a bit now. Suddenly, the manager says, Chan, I need to find a tool that will be very useful for you. He asks, a tool? She responds, yes, I've been thinking about it, and I'll prepare it for you as soon as possible. Chan says, you don't need to do that, manager. But she insists, Chan, all species in this world have magical powers. Moreover, some species have both physical and magical powers, depending on their characteristics. Elves always have a youthful appearance and live for a long time. Succubi are very good at captivating people. Every species has some attribute. In my opinion, Chan, you are the person most in danger in this world because you are in a completely different world from your own. But at least, for your sake, you have an anti-magic constitution and can control it. This gives you the power to protect yourself. But you can't protect yourself against extreme magical powers, and you can't physically beat some creatures either. So, what I'm saying is for your safety, okay? Chan responds, okay, I'll think more about it. She says, then I'll find some equipment now. Good luck with the rest of your shift, okay? Chan responds, okay, manager, don't worry. He thinks, I had already felt this before, but she is really a good person. The manager really cares about me, even though I'm just a part-time employee. I should at least buy her a meal when I get my first paycheck. Another customer arrives, and Chan says, ah, welcome. Are you looking for something specific? The customer responds, give me a pack of those blue cigarettes over there. Chan goes to get the product, and the customer says, and I'll take this one too. When the customer puts the money on the table, Chan notices he has a scar on his hand and stares at it. He apologizes, ah, sorry. It's the first time I've seen a scar like that. The customer responds, ah, it's okay. It's rare to see this kind of scar nowadays, isn't it? Chan sees that the customer seems to be a hybrid with dog-like features, including one ear that's half torn. The customer says, don't worry, everyone acts very curious about the scars. He asks, can I rest here for a bit? Chan responds, ah, yes, of course. You can rest comfortably here. The customer thanks him, but soon receives a notification on his phone and excuses himself to type. Chan thinks he seems like a very busy person. Seeing him wearing a suit late at night, I wonder if he works in an office or something. If he's working at this hour, it seems he's doing overtime.
Chan grows curious and asks, excuse me, sir, but are you checking the stock market on your phone? And the man replies, no, it's not the stock market. It's another job. Chan asks, what kind of job? The man answers, oh, it's for driving. He shows his phone and explains, I work as a chauffeur. A chauffeur, for those who don't know, is like an Uber driver, but more upscale. As expected on a night like this, the street is full of cars, looking very congested. This gentleman, who appears to be a kobold, continues using his chauffeur app mangacap quietly. Also, there haven't been many strange clients tonight. This situation is so peaceful with just one client. He's so kind. Finally, working hours that aren't exhausting. I hope the day continues like this, and that the upcoming ones do too. Excuse me. Sorry. Is there something wrong? Do you know where this place is? Sorry. I started working here recently, so I don't know much about this area. Thanks for answering anyway. I also haven't been working as a chauffeur for long. Actually, are you managing well at work? Well, I was until yesterday. Today, for example, a minotaur completely smashed the door, and I'm very exhausted. Situations like this really happen. I was wondering what happened with the door. Never in my life did I think. They hear a very loud noise. What was that? An accident. They see an orc cursing at another, who is trying to figure out what's going on. It seems a kobold is also scared inside his car. Where did you get your driver's license? You weren't even looking at the traffic signals. And you, did you eat the rulebook? Who didn't signal now? You idiot. I turned at the light first. You bastard. Watch how you talk to me. You idiot. Meanwhile, the kobold is holding his phone, crying, not knowing what to do. Are you looking to die? Chan thinks. Wow, this is impressive. You see, in this job, I can even witness two orcs fighting over a traffic dispute. But I think this fight is getting out of hand. They should call the insurance company before starting to fight like this. Meanwhile, people on the street are commenting, it's the orcs again. As if orcs fighting over traffic is a recurring event. Chan thinks. People are just passing by without doing anything. So this is relatively common here then. This world is really different. Won't you have problems with this, sir? Sorry. What do you mean? I don't think you'll get clients if these orcs keep fighting in front of you. I think your business won't do well. I know, but everyone is distracted by the fight, right? It seems business really isn't going well. It's okay, sir. I'll take care of this situation. What? Hello, youngsters. It's good that you're so energetic, but you can stop fighting and start cleaning the street now. What's this old wolf saying to us? How dare you get involved in our fight? Stop interrupting and get out of here. Yeah, stay in your corner. Old man, how dare you? The kobold punches the first orc in the face, and the other is shocked because the orc falls unconscious with just one punch. Everyone, including Chan, is completely astonished by this. What? He passed out from just one punch? This old man. Now you're going to see what you did to him. But the old man is already preparing for another strike, and this time he knocks out the second orc with a kick. Finally, they've become docile again. Excuse me, young kobold, now that they're finally quiet, could you call the police and the insurance department? Of course. And thank you for your help. It was nothing. Good luck dealing with this. Sorry to ask, but what did you do before becoming a chauffeur? And what species are you exactly? Because Chan noticed he isn't a kobold. My species. I'm a werewolf. Well, it's really hard to tell because the moon isn't full right now. And before working as a chauffeur, well, I did odd jobs when I was young, but now I'm just a retired old man. Chan thinks. He seems like such a cool person. That scar on his hand, and the way he took down those two orcs. I'm sure this guy is nothing ordinary. Well, I think I'll get back to work now. Thanks for letting me rest here. Oh, no need to thank me. I just did what I should do. Sir, do you have a business card or something like that? It would be good to have your card to deal with some drunks who come here to the store. And when I need a chauffeur, I can contact you too. Sure, I'd be very happy with that. He hands Chan a business card. Then, Chan sits in his chair and carefully examines the card. It really looks like just a normal business card. Not strange like that fake ID from the other day. And that guy really just wanted to rest. He doesn't seem like a scammer or a con artist until another customer approaches. Please, give me 2 packs of cigarettes. Sir, you can't bring any animals in here. Please come back after tying her leash somewhere outside. But why? My little baby doesn't pee inside stores. Let her stay just for a bit. And my dog doesn't bark much. He's quiet, and I'll be quick. Just buying a drink and cigarettes and leaving. And Chan responds, all right, but be quick and don't have any customers in the meantime. Suddenly, Chan's phone vibrates, and he sees a message from the manager. Chan, it's about the equipment we talked about earlier. Do you want me to do anything special? The special equipment should be something useful for work, right? Then he sends a message. I want a giant mop to clean the store. Yeah, I think it's better to prepare for that. But is there really nothing you want for yourself? Decide for yourself. Manager, I'll be grateful for anything you give me. The customer returns to the counter. Here, I'll take the beer along with the cigarettes. Okay, just a minute. But when he tries the card, he notices something strange. Sir, it looks like your card has reached its limit. What? I've reached my limit. This is terrible. I didn't bring any other cards with me. Can you do a bank transfer? I left my phone at home too. Then I have no choice. I'll go home and get my wallet. Keep an eye on this little one here while I come back. What? I'll be back in 10 minutes. Customer, wait a bit. He's well trained and doesn't bite. And I'm just buying this stuff. So I'll leave him here in case you don't believe me. Okay, but go and come back quickly. He really left left his dog here, didn't he? Good heavens, now I look like a weird pet owner. In a situation like this, how can a dog owner leave their dog with a complete stranger? Then he stares at the dog for a while and pets its head. You're the one having a hard time because of your owner, aren't you? I guess with an owner like that, you must live a tough life. Got anything to say? I think if you could talk, you'd have a lot to say. I really do have something to say. Well, I don't know if it would be good if I said this out loud, but there's a lot I don't say. Obviously, Chan is astonished by this. So, boss, can I vent to you? You can talk? Yeah, I can. So why didn't you say anything in front of your owner? If you had, none of this would have happened. Well, I usually don't talk and have to be very careful, especially in front of my owner. But why? Every time I bark, he keeps saying he's going to remove my vocal cords. He talks about doing surgery to remove them if I don't shut up and keeps saying my voice is too loud. Chan thinks, as expected, he's not a good owner. And what's your name and age? My name is Puppy, and I'm 2 years old. Look at that. You speak very well for a dog of just 2 years. You know, dogs are adults when they turn 2 years old, so it's not that impressive. I see. I don't know much about dogs. So, Puppy, have you seen other dogs that could talk too? No, I've never seen any. Other dogs spend time having fun with their owners while barking, but I've never seen another dog that could talk like me. So I got scared of having my vocal cords removed by surgery, and I never interacted with any of them. Boss, am I weird? I'm not sure. I don't know much about it, but it seems most people like puppies, right? And one of my acquaintances traveled with his dog too. Yeah, I'm jealous of that. But do you always go through this? Does he treat you like you're a problem? I don't know. Ugh, let's not talk about it. Just thinking about it makes me tired. He keeps fighting with his wife because of me, and whenever he's drunk, he acts very strange. But at least he still gives me food and a place to sleep, right? But sometimes I think about running away from my owner. Then talk to your owner about it. What if I lose my vocal cords because of that? Actually, he only makes that threat because he doesn't know I can talk. To be honest, I think he just has a bad temper, you know? And as you were talking, I kept thinking he wasn't a good person. Yeah, but it's harder outside than inside the house. Right, I would suffer even more on the street. Anyway, you should have an honest conversation with your owner. The situation might improve. Yeah, I think I'll follow your advice. It's a good idea, but it's been 10 minutes. Isn't he coming back? I don't know. Once, I waited for an hour. Yeah, you really go through a lot with this guy. Would you mind if I asked one more thing? What would that be? What does neutering mean? Neutering. My God, where's this going? I heard him saying I'm going to be neutered next week. I overheard him talking to his wife. What is that? Why do I need surgery? And he's there, all cute, waiting for an answer while Chan grabs paper and a pen. I'll explain with drawing. Okay, so stay calm and listen carefully. Chan explains that neutering surgery is very common in this generation where everyone has pets, and it's one of the most critical concerns for dog owners. Neutering prevents prostatic hyperplasia, testicular tumors, cystitis, prevention of mammary tumors, pyometra, ovarian cysts, etc. Many pet owners choose neutering surgery to keep their pets healthy, not just to avoid having puppies. It doesn't mean it's necessary, but many owners do it to avoid having a larger family of dogs at home. It's a tough choice for owners who love their puppies, so they usually consider various circumstances before opting for the surgery. But what happens if a talking dog understands what this surgery is? I don't want it. Never, never, never will I undergo this surgery. I'd rather die. Why do I have to go through such a cruel procedure? Did I steal the neighbor's dog bone? Did I poop on a post? No, it's not because of those things. Calm down. In the end, it's for your own good. Don't say such nonsense. Even if it's for my own good, I can't let him remove that from me. Would you undergo such surgery for this reason? Me? Of course not. Exactly. You wouldn't want it either. No one would. It doesn't make sense for humans to get it. Why would I? This is so horrible. Very horrible. I haven't even had a relationship with anyone yet. I haven't even become adult enough to have puppies. I can't believe I'm going to be sterile. What sin did I commit in my past life to end up like this? Chan thinks, maybe I shouldn't have explained what neutering is. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Drink some water. Feeling better now? Now I've calmed down a bit. Sorry for my outburst. I got very scared by your explanation and, well, I freaked out. Relax. Don't worry about it. But anyway, puppy, now that you know what neutering is, you should tell your owner you don't want it, right? Maybe your owner will understand. No, there's no need for that. I'm not happy about it, but I've had this owner-pet relationship since I was born. That's why I always thought about following him faithfully. Most dogs live like I do, so I'll do what's right. But maybe living this way isn't really living, is it? Well, this is my current life, isn't it? Maybe I should cut ties with my owner. Thank you very much. Your advice has opened my horizons. No, wait. Didn't I tell you to talk to him first? There's no need for that. It's fate. Think again about this situation. You'll suffer a lot if you end up on the street. I don't really care. I think I suffer more at home, and I also don't want to have my nuts crushed. Do you think that's a reason to leave home? Maybe it is. I don't know. no. Anyway, I've made my decision and I hope you'll help me with it. Can you take off my collar? Sure. Chan thinks. I'm not sure if this is okay. I feel so free. Is there anything else I can do to help you? Yes, there is one thing. Before leaving, I want you to help me talk to my owner. So you're at least going to say goodbye to him? Yeah, even though it wasn't a good relationship. I think I have some affection for him, despite hating his other side. So, I'll do this to have a clear conscience. Okay then. I'll help you. I'm back. Finally, you're back. Hey, what's this? Why is he without his collar? Did you take it off, sir? Your dog needs to tell you something. What? My dog? Stop saying nonsense. Owner, I'm just asking. So, don't dodge this question. Did you really go to get your wallet after leaving me here? Or were you going to schedule a neutering appointment for me next week? That's true. Thank you for answering. From today on, I'll make my own way. This is so you never look for me again. So, goodbye. Take care. But is it okay if I come back to this store once in a while? Yes, of course. You can come anytime. Thank you very much. I hope your business does well. What was that? Puppy. Oh my god. Sir, are you okay? Well, everything's fine now. Now this place is sparkling again. After Puppy escaped, his owner completely freaked out, took off his shirt, and ran after Puppy. That means he still loves his pet, even though he's not a good owner, right? I don't want to hear more about this story. I'll take care of my own life now. Look who it is. You're the one who was making the gift for your mom that day, aren't you? Hello, sir. Then Chan re-enters the store, grabs a cup, and fills it with water from the filter. Let's see. I think I left it around here. Here, take a little medicine. After you take your medicine, I'll give you the chocolate. But, mister, I don't want medicine. At that very moment, mucus drips from her nose. And I don't have any money. Don't give me the medicine. I don't have money to pay for it. And Chan thinks, you don't want the medicine. You're making excuses, aren't you? If you don't take this medicine now, you'll have to get a shot later. Still don't want it. I guess I prefer the medicine. Finally. But why didn't you come here on Friday morning instead of today? Because yesterday I had piano lessons. I have piano lessons every Friday morning. You wake up early for piano lessons. Wow, how responsible you are. But you're sick today, so you can't make the gift. If you sneeze on your gift, it'll ruin everything. No. Today, I just came by to say hi. To me, convenience stores seem like you can buy everything, but I don't have much money. So, I'll come here to buy things when I've saved up more. And how much are you planning to save? 2,000. My mom gives me 500 every day. So, since she comes every 4 days, Mother's Day will be here in less than 2 weeks. Chan keeps thinking, this girl is really amazing, but if she keeps this pace, I think she won't finish by the day, and I don't want to force her to buy these things. What can I do to give her a reason to come here without having to buy? He grabs 2 lollipops. Here, this is your reward for taking the medicine. Thank you very much. But little girl, how much money do you have now? Exactly 501. Great, because coincidentally, these 2 lollipops cost 501. And this convenience store here sells a huge variety of sweets for 501. If you want, I can show you. So, if you're not busy, come here whenever you have 501. Okay, I'll buy these today then. Thank you very much. What is it? You're staring. Do you want to trade flavors? Which flavor do you like? Kid, are you giving yours to me? Save it to eat later. It's no problem. But I drank the chocolate you gave me, and my mom said if I eat too much sweet stuff, I'll get diabetes. And sharing food makes it taste better. So, let's eat together. And Chan thinks, so, there's no way around it. What flavor do you like? I like sour. Then I'll eat the chocolate one. I'm taking food from a child again, aren't I? Are all kids like this nowadays? When I was her age, I wasn't as pure as she is. The manager mentioned earlier that young dragons can tell the difference between good and bad people based on the color of their horn. Right, she's a smart kid. She shouldn't be fooled by strangers. Can I ask you something? Sir, do you live nearby? My house is 35 minutes from here. Why? Wow, that's really close. Do you live nearby too? No, it takes an hour by subway. Wow, that far. So it's close to your school, right? Yeah, I get off at the station and walk from school. The school is huge and has a lot of people, and also many friends my age, and my mom works nearby too. And Chan thinks, it seems like a normal school, so maybe it's a private school. Today you came by bike, right? And my mom works close by. Today I slept around here. Usually, after school, I go home with my mom. Wow, your mom works at a big company. Yeah, I really like it there. And today I like it even more. But why? Because you live nearby, so I can see you more often. That's why I'm happy. Yeah, but I don't plan to work here for very long. And with that, he breaks the poor child's dreams. And Chan thinks, I need to get back to work soon. Initially, I planned to work here until I found a better job, but I admit the experiences here are quite rare. Fireworks from a fake ID, purifying dragon scales, people with chihuahua heads giving love advice to a succubus. But anyway, I can't spend my whole life working at a convenience store, right? Maybe I was too honest with her, but don't worry, I'm not leaving anytime soon. Are you sad about that? It's true. I'll be here for for a while longer. And there's something I need to tell you too. It's better if you don't get too close to adults you don't know, okay? But why? Getting close to someone you don't know isn't a good idea. Didn't your mom ever tell you not to follow strangers? I'm telling you this for your own safety, okay? Then I'll remember that. But you helped me with my Mother's Day gift and even gave me medicine. You've helped me several times, so to me, you're a good adult. Alright, when you come tomorrow, remember to buy the piece of paper, okay? Good morning, Chan. Ah, hi, manager. Oh my god, the door is really broken, isn't it? Looks like you had a tough night this Friday. Yeah, thanks for understanding. So, since you worked so well last night. Ah, is this a smartphone? This here is actually a device I prepared especially for you. I already had the phone at home, so I brought this one for you. Now I'll teach you how to use it, okay? Manager, are you alright? No, I'm very sleepy, but she starts explaining anyway. You don't need to pay attention to the mic all the time, okay? The shield icon is your magic defense, but it works automatically, so no need to activate it. And this button here is to recover magic, okay? The use is similar to the camera. You just adjust the focus, look at the area you want to fix, and take a picture. Then, you just follow the app instructions. Is there anything you didn't understand? Ah, not for now. Okay, then let's try it now. First, adjust the focus. Ah, there's no difference from a normal phone, so use it the way you know. Then a message appears on the screen. Press the button during the specific period and take the picture. He moves a bit to the side and asks, Manager, I have to press this button here, right? For heaven's sake, Chan, don't move. Stay still when you're using this app. Any movement can cause errors. Ah, okay, sorry. Now, just press the back button and wait for the image of the door to appear. Alright, okay, here we go. He presses the button, and as he rewinds, it's like he's going back in time, reversing to the moment when the Minotaur headbutted. He goes back to the previous morning, and the door is intact. Then he pauses at that moment and thinks, wow, this is cool. Images from the past. Now, just press the activate button, and the door will be restored to how it looks in the photo. Looks like it was during this period, right? When he presses, a bright light appears in front of them, and a magic circle forms on the door, starting a transmutation. The glass just returns to place automatically, and in the blink of an eye, the door is as good as new. Oh my god. While he's standing there shocked, the manager is checking if the door is really whole. Looks like it was restored well. Do you think it's good, Chan? Huh, boss. Is there any problem with this? Huh, problem? What? If this is a reversal spell, I scrolled through some images of customers before. Doesn't this magic affect the customers too? Could they have been turned into children? No, calm down, Chan. For heaven's sake, don't worry about that. This magic doesn't affect anything that's alive. No one can do that in this world. Relax. Ah, so that's it. What a relief. That was unexpected. Magic that affects living things is still a very unknown field. Wizards worldwide have been studying it for decades, but without much progress, aside from spending a lot of money. So, the possibility of any magic I do affecting living things is absolutely zero. Does that make you feel more confident? Ah, yes, thank you, manager. But boss, can I really keep using this phone? Of course. I didn't spend the whole night making it for you for nothing, okay? You spent the whole night making this. To make a phone like this, you have to prepare several things. You need to talk to the magic department, and there's a lot of bureaucracy involved. It's not an ordinary phone around here, is it? This phone is equipped with a special magic stone, so even though it's rare, you can still download magical formulas from the internet. But downloading formulas consumes a lot of data, so you need Wi-Fi. Boss, you're really amazing. Where did you get this phone? It's from an acquaintance from a few years ago, and I had forgotten about it and only now brought it for you. Thank you very much, boss. I'll use it properly. Do you have any other questions? Actually, I do. Do dogs talk in this world? Then, after a while, Chan tells the whole story of Puppy. No matter how much I think about it, this dog seems more like a familiar. You mean a magical familiar, right? That type of animal with extraordinary powers. Yeah, it's a bit like that, but in our world, the meaning is a bit different. In our world, animals with specific and special abilities are called familiars, regardless of the species. Those with special abilities are classified as familiars, and most of them are very intelligent, so they can understand our language to a certain extent. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've seen a familiar speaking fluently, but this city here seems completely devoid of familiars. Yeah, familiars are very rare, but their descendants are much more common. Besides intelligence, familiars have other abilities. In the context of your story, it further proves that they can instinctively activate their abilities. That is indeed quite amazing. But did I hear correctly? Did he say he would come back to the store? I'm a bit worried because there's something serious about this. As I said, they are very rare animals. Seeing them daily is extremely difficult, but they are very expensive. Without doing anything, they can be worth up to 1 billion ons. Chan thinks, wow, that Baku must regret a lot. So I worry if any person or the familiar itself will be in danger because of this. So anyway, if he comes back to the store, let let me know, okay? It's going to rain tonight, so when you come, be careful. Okay, I'm off. And indeed, when his shift started, he was already at the store. It started raining heavily. It's pouring. On a day like this, I'll need to keep cleaning the floor like crazy and also take out the trash. What a pain. Suddenly, his phone starts vibrating in his pocket. A message from his new magic phone. Hi, Chan. This phone also has a translation function, so use it when you need it. The manager sends a photo of some food and a drink. I'm having a beer and eating seafood pancakes. Are you jealous? And our Chan gives a little smile seeing this and thinks, there's no other manager or part-time boss who does this for their employee. Someone who gives up their sleep just to make a magic phone for their worker. When I get my first paycheck, what should I give my boss as a present? Until a customer arrives. He attends to the customer, but feels a bit intimidated by who it is. Daydreaming again. Kid, and where's the umbrella stand? You better bring it over, because I'm not coming in until you do. Hey, this one's good, right? I don't know, sir. Do you plan to relax the whole time you're working? Meanwhile, Chan uses his inner energy to stay calm and composed. This product you picked is also on a 2-for-1 promotion. Do you want it? No, because I don't need two. Even so, sir, there's nothing to lose. It's literally free. You really don't give up, do you? Alright, take one for yourself and drink it. You're giving it to me, sir? Customer, I'm sure you've given me something before, and if it's an essential item for you, you can take it. Besides, I can't drink alcohol on duty. You never drink alcohol during your night shift? No, not even during the night shift. Why would an employee drink alcohol at work? It happens to me sometimes, and they allow you to do that. No, but they make me work overtime every week, and I'm there sacrificing my time for that greedy company. In the next scene, a little later, we see a flash of lightning. It's your Pegasus descending, leaving several feathers in the air, and she gently lands with her Pegasus. Wait for me, I'll be right back. Okay, Chan, here you are. How did you? What's going on? Meanwhile, our protagonist is staring intently at something. A can of alcoholic drink. What's this? Are you drinking alcohol? No. A customer gave it to me. I was just thinking about where to put it. I'm worried about that customer. To be honest, what worries you about him? For starters, he's a kobold with a chihuahua head, and I'm afraid of getting fired. That's a very specific concern, isn't it? Seeing that you're even worried about the customers. It seems you really like this job, right? In my time, when I was in your position, I didn't worry about that. I was exhausted every day. You worked here? Yeah, I worked for a short period, but I left soon after. Even though I was here for only a brief time, I learned a lot of secrets. There were people who opened a bag of food, ate it, and then came back asking for a refund. Hey, I got a stomachache after eating this crap, while the manager was all patient. Sir, we can't refund that. I wasn't patient at all and said, if it were 1 or 2 people, fine, but it was every day. In the end, I punched the customer. You're going to have a stomachache from my fist, you jerk. Oh, for God's sake, I couldn't do that. Well, thanks to my sister, I couldn't reach the customer, so I left immediately. Just thinking about it gives me a headache. I think I completely understand what you're saying, but are you here for something specific? Today isn't a delivery day. No, I'm not here for a delivery today. I need your help. Help? Can you take a look at this? And it's something that leaves our protagonist breathless. This is a demonic core. Can you touch it quickly? Just a little. Help me out. No way. Why not? It's not dangerous. It's been purified. No, even if it's not dangerous, I'm not touching that disgusting thing. Why would I? And what exactly is a demonic core? You know those beasts, monsters, demons that come through the portals. Well, this is like the heart of those creatures. The demonic core is a very powerful magical energy and is very expensive, used as fuel. Actually, it's somewhat related to the demonic magic product my sister ordered. Are you sure my boss ordered that? No, it was something related to this. Do you remember the dragon scales? The ones full of dragon pus. Yeah, those. At that time, my sister ordered a stuffed demon, and I left it in the storage. The purification is also very important for these stuffed demons. I can't trust just anyone, you know, so I want to ask for your help. If this demonic core reacts with your anti-magic constitution, we'll never have a problem with it again. And our protagonist suddenly sees this as a very cool task and goes all in to touch the demonic core. But suddenly, they both run out of the store with an explosion of smoke behind them. When he looks back, he sees a large plume of purple and blue smoke. You said it wasn't dangerous. What's this smoke? It smells like chicken poop. Suddenly, they hear a loud noise and see an ogre bending metal with his hand. Those bastards. They skipped work last time, and now they're lying to me. I'm going to finish those idiots. Excuse me, Chan, I need to talk to my supplier quickly. And she turns the corner. The protagonist thinks she seems really angry now. I guess that makes sense. Right. But what do I do with the store now? I can't even enter because of the smell. And surely no customer will want to come in. Hello, boss. Is there a magic core in your store? Hello. Welcome. You're the guy who fell off his bike last time. Right. Thanks for remembering. This smoke looks like demonic core smoke. Are you you working with demonic cores in the store? And we see that the core seems to be reacting in some way to the protagonist's touch.